Is trap music really good? Like some questions came up, and I've had this. I've never liked trap music. You know this. I'm just not a big fan of it. I don't mind it. And I was online and I saw it. It was questions being raised. I was on Vlad TV. I saw, they talked about it. It was just a day where it came up a lot, and it prompted me to ask you that question. When we're talking about it, so we thought we'd take that conversation to you guys today. And it was just like, is trap music good? Is this a viable conversation to be having? Let's go. Let me hear from you.
Well, I've never really been the biggest trap music fan, but I will say that when trap kind of took a turn with like Waka and Migos towards not being as serious, and even Two Chains pretty much does this, where it became like so over the top and like lavish that it became like a joke on itself. You know what I mean? I think that that was kind of like a positive development in trap because it just became kind of funny.
We disagree, but continue.
I think that like when you saw like Chief Keef and like the drill music scene and they're like super serious and they're like they have all these guns and they're like, yeah, I'm gonna like murder this dude on this street at this time with my guns, and I'm just like, I don't know, like it's at a certain point, like a lot of this the trap music was just getting so ignorant that it was just like I don't know, it was like it was hurting my brain a little bit. But I feel like an artist like Two Chains, he's like actually kind of like applying some intelligence to make it a joke, and you could tell like that he's making jokes. So I don't know, it ends up being more fun for me personally. But so RJ is shaking his head, so I'm assuming that he doesn't agree.
Yeah, I don't agree with any of your points about trap or at all. And first of all, trap is not new. Trap is really old, man. It's like goes back. Trap is before all of us, man. Like sitting, So it's like trap is before us. Trap is like early, and the other thing is, um, that trap music literally I foreshadowed. A lot of things we talk about. I used to talk about. I just didn't really put them into any articles or videos. I used to talk to people about them that wrote articles and stuff. I didn't really have time. A lot of bad things were going on. So just whatever. You could tell I live in that life, the struggle life. But trap music again. It. I just felt like people said to me, "Hey man, we're doing these talks and stuff, and we have a lot of stuff to promote, and it would be really good if you could help us out." So that's why I'm here, and that's why I'm going to start talking about these things with you guys. And I think trap really, really started to take a comical turn, and this is really a history of rap. So if you go back to Tupac and you go back to Scarface and you go back to all these dudes, they were talking about trap music, but they were literally talking to you like reporters or giving you like a story, a feel of what that life is like. Because if you look at history, that stuff had already passed by. Like they were kind of in it, but a lot of rappers like later in the '90s that already passed by. That way passed by. All the crack selling and all this kind of stuff. That wasn't happening like that, man. Like so, I'm not saying it didn't happen, but not like that. All the stuff they were talking about other people's stories. So, it was ridiculous. It's like, and that's part of the reason why I didn't like trap, because like a lot of the stuff that I hear, like when I listen to rap, is just ridiculous. Like, so, like, and one of the things I felt about rap is like a lot of the times I heard it, a lot of dudes didn't understand the street game or principles of it, and it was just like violating, and it made no sense. So, people are like, oh, is this guy real? And anytime people start saying that, I'm like, most of the time they don't know what the hell they're talking about. So just it's a fundamental problem with rap where you have a lot of people that are not really wise to things. So they take things literally or out of context because they're like, I don't even know how you could, but I guess people not living the struggle life or living in the streets, you know what I mean? Or just have enough sense to recognize that they don't need to be next to the fire or getting burnt, I don't know. But like I said, it's like it's like that, and so I respect that type of trap. You know, when people are talking about it, it makes sense. I could hear it, like you know. Then I could even respect the Jeezy rap to a point. I don't like listen you glorifying trap music because even those other songs didn't really glorify it. You know, it was kind of neutral to like slightly positive, but more negative, right? You could get negative from it. I didn't like the glorification of it, and then by that time, Jeezy and Rick Ross came on the scene. It was like way past now. We're talking about like 40, 30 years ago of like, you know, like just selling crack and they're like
Rick
literally
Ross,
going into like movie stuff that make no sense. Like I'm like driving up all this coke in these cars from the Keys and then they're doing it on the phone and I'm like, dude, like how are you not getting caught by the cops? Like none of this made any sense and like it's just so fantastical and ridiculous and it was like it's just stupid and I literally had a problem with it too because I knew kids that were actually, dude, I'm gonna keep it real. I told you about this before. There were some kids like that, literally like 11 of them or something like that, 9 to 11 of them got together, and they like got jobs to buy coke, to sell coke, to become ballers like Rick Ross. And I was like, and I literally said, I'm like, if you guys could come up with money, you guys could just pool your money, buy a house or do any kind of investment. If you could all get jobs. Why are you going to buy coke? Because. So but it wasn't cool. Like they wanted to be cool, and a lot of the kids that emulate stuff that people talk about, and I think people should be free to emulate whatever they want to, because that's only the idiots do that. But like the and we should know as a public who's an idiot. Let them reveal themselves.
Yeah.
But the thing is that the people that are the farthest removed from that are the ones that do stupid stuff like that. I'm gonna let you go.
Yeah, man, but like. I feel like a Rick Ross album is like watching a Scarface movie, except like, you know, the part where he gets all the success and he gets the mansion and the girl and all the cocaine. Yeah, like just end the movie there.
Yeah, well,
like you don't have. It's like you get all the benefits, but you don't have to do any.
But
the
problem
bad stuff.
is that trap is literally means you're trapped. It's a struggle. It's a negative connotation. They're making trap out to not be trap. It's just like normal rap. So it's like the people that were talking about trap don't understand trap fundamentally because they were never trap stars in the first place. Like, at all. And then the money that they're talking about in trap, no real trap person makes all that money. They don't make this money, like, at all. Like, you find me the trap guy that makes that money because that's not a trap guy, that's a boss. That is literally a boss of a criminal organization where they have different lanes of income that they're making. That, you know, he's running a big network. Like, this is ridiculous. Okay, they don't make this much money. Like, literally, you make more money than the average guy in crime when you work at Burger King every year, okay? That's why they rob your house. Come on, it's ridiculous. I mean, like, none of these people understand any of this. Like, and it's like, I understand they're selling it to other people. When you look at the average rap dude, everybody wants to be like a gangster or all this kind of stuff. Especially like for a long time in rap, there wasn't these lanes where you could just be a normal dude. And so everybody had to do all this stupid stuff to kind of get on and stuff like that. And it literally perpetuated an image that they didn't understand or weren't about. Look, if you even look at the numbers, man, or you've just been on the block, like, the majority of people aren't doing that, you know? People act like it, and everybody's an actor. So rapping came in and literally put actors in front. And then you had more people acting like what they saw on TV, which then more actors came in. It's just like levels. It's like the Matrix, where you're like, I'm in the Matrix, and then it's like, there's the other level of the Matrix where I'm in Zion, and then there's like another level to the Matrix. Like, you know what I mean? There's like, the Matrix is like 4 levels deep. That's what it's like now. So I look at that with trap. It's like, it's so far removed, like a broken like message, you know, like it's just varied out into something that is so silly that anybody that's really knows it understands. And the majority of people selling drugs now that I see selling drugs are not selling drugs because they need to sell drugs. They're selling drugs because they put themselves in the position to sell drugs, and they're selling drugs to get credit or street cred, or they're selling drugs to be cool. You see my point? Like, a lot of girls sell drugs, and I'm like, wait a second, you don't need to sell drugs. You get government grants, you get welfare checks, you know what I mean? You get government aid of some sort or something. You get dudes paying you money. Why are you selling drugs? Well, I'm selling drugs because that's what a real, you know, boss bitch does, or this and this and that, or they sell it to be cool, you know? They put it on Facebook. What part of the game is snitching on yourself. Like, what part of the game is this? And look, people talk about snitching, and I'm gonna keep it real. Snitching is not talking about the next dude like that you have no affiliation with, because snitches is who you exchange with on the block when we're all selling on the corner. And like, if I snitch on the other guy on the corner, it could come back and affect me, you know, because he knows about me. Other people know about me. But if something happens, if I'm in New York and something's happening in LA, and I'm like, yeah, you know, this and this and that, that's not snitching. I don't know them dudes like at all. That's not snitching. If I see a guy rape a kid and I see him and he's from LA and he comes in my town, I'm like, yeah, that guy's a rapist. That is not snitching. Now, you don't know people, they're not in your circle, you know what I mean? That's not snitching. Now, the problem is that when you have these guys putting on Facebook, they're in their own circle because you're yourself. You have friends that are probably buying drugs from you, or your distributor that's selling to you, or producer, or whatever you're doing, and you're snitching on them. Because when the police comes and arrests you, you might start singing and telling on everybody. What part of the game is this? So I can't respect that, because you have this whole culture that came from it. So I think trap is just like something that now it's reached the point that people feel that they must do trap to be a real nigga. You know, it's quote unquote. And it's not. And I don't have a problem with it in the fact that it diminishes the idiots from the population, which is good. But you know, the problem I have with it is in music. Is this a good genre now? No, it's not. It's a perversion. It's literally something disgusting that I can't listen to, because it's not giving me any authentic information. There's nothing about this that I'm learning or I'm getting any artistic things from. It's just people hammering together things to put together and calling it trap. There's nothing that I gain from it. If I want to listen to real trap, I got to go back in the day to listen to real dudes. I got to go listen to like Snoop Dogg, you know what I mean? Talking about the game, you know? He's talking about trap life. You know, gang banging and trap life. You know, there's two together. But trap life is just a form of gangster rap, just talking about the drug selling part, not the gang banging, but the drug selling part. You know what I mean? Of being stuck in that life. And I feel like it's a perversion on a music level now, and it's bad. It's just really bad. And you know, like we need to go back. So I know a lot of people, I brought up all that stuff because people have these intellectual arguments about it, and they talk about, man, how it's affecting the kids. And I'm like, no, kids, look, people are people. They make choices. Kids are not just somehow like a blank forever, and then suddenly they turn 18 and they're like, you know, Confucius or some shit. You know what I mean? Like, no, like they're people. They were people for a long ass time, okay? So, like, they develop. Everybody grows. People regress. So let the dumb ones reveal themselves. But as a music genre, man, like, I think it should be out there. People should be able to buy it. But let's get it be clear. That's not the real trap music. And I feel if we're talking objectively, it's just good by the definition of what trap is. No, it's not. This is some other shit. You know what I mean? It's a really, like, big question, because there's so many things we put into it as a culture now. You know, because it's gone on so long. It's just become like, you know, this big fucking mess. You know what I mean? With trap, it's just a big mess, man. T.I.'s shit is so whack when he talks about trap. And I like T.I., you know, but when he starts talking about trap, it takes me the fuck out. Like, it takes me out, man.
But that's why I think that it's good that it became a fucking joke, because it got so separated that the only place it could go was being a joke. So now it's just like fucking 2 Chainz is considered trap, and he's like doing... And he's like, all I want for my birthday is a big booty hoe. And he's like talking
How is that trap? But whatever,
you
man.
You know what I mean? Like that. It's become so separated that it's just become a joke. It's like
it's gone full circle.
Like
it's just normal rapping now.
Yeah.
But they're just normally rapping. Like, I make trap music. Yo, I got my fat chain. I got my fat whip. I got some good brain from a chick or roll grain. And it's like, wait a second. What the fuck did that have to do with trap? Like, I'm sorry, man. I'm just like, I can't even listen to it. And then all the songs sound the same. I'm not even dissing Young Jeezy because he's all right. But I can't listen to like an entire album of Young Jeezy talking the same thing.
Yeah,
Snowman, come be your birthday. And it's like the next song, Snowman. It's like, come on, dog. I just heard the song like the last time.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Gosh.
I think at a certain point it bled into. It's kind of like metal. How metal evolved from rock, where it's like it became its own. It evolved into its own sound. Like trap evolved into more than just
How did it evolve?
well, like the kicks, like the 808s and the syncopated hi hats, and like they just became like markers of trap. Like
So you mean it developed?
Trap developed into a sound more than the content.
It became a distinct subgenre.
Yeah, it became
So I can accept that.
And so then when it became a subgenre and you had like trap norms and conventions, and then it was just like, well, I have a beat like this.
Now
talk
it's
about
broken.
selling coke.
But it's broken. It's broken now because it doesn't deal with trap music. Trap is supposed to be by the word trap.
Yes.
You are trapped. So it's just
been divorced from that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's no longer trap. If you're divorced from a chick, you ain't married no more. Like, come on, like this is it's gone, man. So it's trap. Trap. I think it's bad now. You know, I think it's dead almost, pretty much. Like, if you're ever gonna say something's dead, I think because people don't even know what trap is anymore. That's the problem. That's when ideas die. You know, when they become so synergized with other things that they just Roman gods are dead because literally nobody even knows, understands how to practice or what they are. It's just like 5 people and like in like, you know, like some Ivy League school or something at any given one. You know, it's like it's once you start to understand, like, forget a culture, you start to lose the ideas. You know, the identity of how things go into norms. It's gone. So, and just a separate topic because it was so big, and we probably might visit it again. Is just like, is a something is like, is drill music trap music, man? Hi, this is RJ Knight from YouAuthorUs.com. Thanks for listening to this segment of Music Talks. If you want to hear the full podcast, please click the link below and follow. Also, there's many more topics you can listen to, so please click on to the site or on our channel and find out. Also, click any links that you see in the videos. They should help direct you to any videos that you might want to hear and see. Thanks a lot. We welcome, and we're always looking for more comments and how they can help us to make better videos.